Zara here from the FitNest. Thanks so much for joining me again. Today I am making a palak tofu curry. So I'm sure you've heard of palak paneer. It is spinach, and paneer is like a soft cheese. So we decided to make it a vegetarian version and add in tofu, which pumps up the protein and makes it actually pretty healthy overall. Looking at the color, my kids actually enjoyed eating it. It's got tons of spinach in it, as you can see, and you'll see as we go on and we make it how much spinach we're actually putting in, which is so great because you know your kids are getting something that is flavorful and nutritious, and that will fill them up and you feel good as well. And I am always looking for meatless recipes that fill us up and that are just as flavorful as our meat and chicken curries. So I'm so excited to share this with you. I have it here with some rice. You can have it with naan. I'm so excited to show you guys how to make this, and we're gonna go through the whole process from how to cook the tofu so it stays nice and firm and it doesn't flake up, and we cream it up with some coconut cream as well. So if you wanna learn how to make this recipe, come and join me. I can't wait to show you and for you guys to try it on your own. Okay, so for your ingredients, the two main things you're gonna need is your tofu. So I've got firm tofu over here. You can just let it drain and pat it dry. So take out any of the excess moisture, and we're gonna be just boiling the tofu just to make it a little bit more firm. Then we've got our spinach. So we've got fresh spinach and frozen spinach. I'm gonna use a bit of both to show you that you can use either or. Fresh spinach obviously is great. Just make sure you wash it, and you need lots of it because that's gonna come down. The frozen spinach is actually a great alternative if you don't have fresh spinach, and you kind of know that this is what it's gonna stay at, so you don't have to worry about like it reducing down. And I find with frozen spinach, it actually sometimes holds that bright green color. So I'm gonna show you how to use both. I'm gonna mix them, but whatever you have, use whatever you have on hand. All right, so what I like to do is have everything chopped and ready, and then you can kind of go and cook it all at once. So we're gonna start with the most tedious task, which is chopping and peeling the garlic. So give it a nice big smash. Oh, look at how big that garlic clove is. So I've got 4 cloves of garlic. I like it super flavorful. Oh, these are actually 5 cloves. All right. So just taking off the peels, and then we will chop it all. All right, so we're gonna chop the garlic nice and fine. It doesn't have to be super fine because, like I said, we are blending this after. Just get it into nice big chunks. So we will set that aside. So I've peeled my ginger. I just love the smell of ginger. And again, I'm just gonna chop it roughly because we're gonna cook it down first and put it in the blender. So because it is a vegetarian curry, I find that you really do need to add all these extra flavors in because that's what gives all the different layers, and it makes your veggie curry super flavorful. Perfect. So next we're gonna cut some onions. I've got red onions here. If you have white or Spanish onions, that actually might work better just for the color, but cut them nice and finely. There you go. So I put that all together with my garlic and ginger. So I've got some water boiling on the stove because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut my tofu into little pieces, and I'm actually gonna boil the tofu, and what that does, it just firms it up a little bit. So I've got the tofu, cutting it into little cubes. I've just started cooking with tofu a little bit more recently. I would say like within the last year and a bit, and I really like it. The kids really like it, which is great. And if you're looking for those meatless dinners, tofu is a great substitute because you get the protein, it fills you up, and it really takes on any flavor that you're cooking, so that's great. And then we're cutting 1 green chili. So again, it's up to you how spicy you want it. You can cut it and de-seed it, but I'm just gonna cut it because we can handle the spice into small little pieces. And one thing I like to do actually, and you'll see that it's a little bit watery, is because a lot of times we don't go through our green chilies, so I'll freeze them and then I'll let it thaw out, and then I'll just cut it into small pieces. All right, so we're gonna take the tofu and we're gonna boil it in water just for 2 minutes, not long, and it gets them nice and spongy. So 2 minutes is up, so we are just gonna take the tofu, drain it, and keep it aside. All right, so now we are gonna make our curry. So we're gonna start with some grapeseed oil, any type of oil as long as it doesn't have a strong flavor. And then we're gonna add in some spices. So we've got cumin here. We're gonna toast up the cumin. We're gonna add in a little bit of mustard seeds. So we're toasting the spices. I love this smell. And then we're gonna add in our aromatics. big board there, but we're adding in the onions, garlic, and ginger, and we're gonna let those toast up. And take your time, don't rush. Really give time for the garlic and ginger to cook down and release its flavors. So we've toasted up all the spices, and now we are going to add in the tomatoes and the chili pepper. No, it's not a chili pepper, and the green chili. So adding in the tomatoes and green chili. What adding the tomatoes does, it just helps scrape up all the spices. It adds that liquid that you need to help kind of deglaze the pan a little bit, I would say. Oh, this smells so good. If you guys could only smell it, it's so flavorful. So we're gonna cook up the tomatoes a little bit, let the juices come out, let the tomatoes soften. Then we're gonna add in our spinach and coconut. Okay, so as I said, I'm gonna mix in fresh spinach with frozen spinach. So we're gonna do about half of this fresh spinach, and then we're gonna take the frozen spinach and put that in. So now that all the spinach is cooked down, you can see it's all cooked. We are gonna add in about 3 tablespoons of coconut cream, and we're gonna mix that in. So now that it's all cooked, we're actually gonna blend this. So I just have my blender here, and I'm gonna spoon it all in. That's why I said you didn't have to worry so much about chopping everything so finely, because it's gonna be really nice, smooth consistency, and the color is amazing. Okay, so time to blend it up. Not gonna lie, I always get a little bit nervous when I blend hot stuff, but I think we'll be okay. All right, so I'm too lazy to wash this, but we're just pouring this baby back in. Woo, look at that color. So it's all already heated up. All right, and then I just put a little bit of water just to get those last little bits. And it's super thick, so a little bit of water is good because it'll thin it out. Ooh, I love that color. So I'm gonna put it on a simmer, and I'm going to add in my tofu. So we're just gonna spoon the tofu in, and any of that excess water, just make sure we don't put it in. We're just gonna gently mix in the tofu and coat it with that delicious green goodness. Okay, so to end off, I've got the curry here. I'm just gonna sprinkle on a little bit of kasuri methi. So this is dried fenugreek. I really like adding that in my veggie curries. I find it just adds this extra little oomph of flavor. Just gonna add in a little bit of fresh lemon juice, and what that does is it really just helps brighten up the flavors. If you know me, you know that I have to add fresh coriander to everything. So just a little bit goes a long way. Just give it a nice little chop and sprinkle that on top. All right, so it is all ready, and I'm ready to plate this up. This goes perfectly like any curry with basmati rice or fresh naan or paratha, whatever you have, but the kids love everything with rice. We always have rice at home, so I'm gonna take my rice, just plate it up. Oh, I just love that little white tofu peeking through this beautiful green curry. It smells so good. And hold on, I'm gonna put a little bit of coconut, drizzle that on top. Just makes it a little bit extra creamy. All right, back with my coconut cream. And I'm just adding in a little bit of coconut cream and a little bit of coriander. All right, so I am so excited to give this a try. It's so funny, on days that we do recipes, I'm so busy prepping that I don't actually eat much. So my tummy is grumbling, and I just wanna say how proud I am of not getting anything green on my top, which I did not think this through and wore a white top when I was doing this. All right, so let's go for it. Bismillah. It's so good. It's so creamy. The lemon at the end just really gives you that pop. The tofu just melts in your mouth. You guys have to try this. Oh my God, it's so good. I cannot wait for us to dig into this for dinner. The kids were yelling before they could smell. They're like, what are you cooking for dinner? I hope you guys give this a try. Add it to your meatless Mondays or your weekly rotation. And that is it. Thanks so much for joining me again. Always let me know in the comments what you'd like to see. I love hearing from you guys, whether it's recipes or workouts. Be sure to subscribe and like if you want to see more videos like this, and I will see you guys either in a workout or in the kitchen next time. Bye.